I'm here with the talented Mr. Raimi. Thank you so much for taking the time.
You're welcome.
You had a really amazing panel. Some people go through the motions on these panels. Yours was, trust me, really good. Like funny, it hit all the boxes, so thank you.
Oh, thanks. Well, I appreciate that. Well, I mean, there's nothing anymore that fans don't know because everything's online.
Yes.
So there's no sense in getting up there and just reciting what they already know. The only reason they're there and they're asking you questions is to see you. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather just give them a show.
Well, I mentioned to you when I was preparing for this, and you just suddenly decided to say, hey, let's just do it immediately, which scared the living crap out of me. But I love the Midnight Meat Train. This is like a cult classic to me.
Oh, thank you.
I was one of the first people to love it, and it's just I'm one of those people that adopts really good material, and it was stellar. Like, there's only a handful of movies in my life that I think, like, I bought the Blu-ray to this. Like, I really did like this movie, and I was serious. And you actually saw that I wrote that, and you're like, okay, this guy's legit. Can you tell me about how you got that role? And I don't know, just it's such an amazing opportunity.
Well, I read for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small part, but I had a good time making it.
Yeah.
And luckily, it was just a one-day shoot. It was a long night shoot that was shot in Sun Valley, California.
Yes.
These old studios near Hollywood, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. They had built a train set, and so felt like an old-fashioned kind of a shoot, so it was nice.
You've been in the Evil Dead 1 and 2, Shocker, Grudge, Army of Darkness, 30 Days, Dust to Dust, Ash vs. Evil Dead, so your bona fides for horror are right up there.
Okay.
So you're like, is that by design or by happy accident? How do you become such a talented and experienced horror genre artist?
Well, first, thanks for the nice compliment. I appreciate it. The answer, I think, is I love the genre.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started in the business, it was before horror was a thing to do, a thing to do, It was not a genre that would boost your career. In fact, it would usually hurt it.
B-movie type,
They were all B movies, just as then as today. They're shot on a typically low budget, but so when I started doing them in the 90s, and you told people you were doing horror films, unlike today where that's a good thing, then it was just maybe this much better than doing porn. They go, well, at least you're not working at a car wash, that sort of a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, by design with regard to that, but I would go into these reads and be really enthusiastic. I know the history of these directors, I'd know the scripts, I'd know where the origins of the movies came from and what order they came in. And, the directors were impressed, that I really loved it, whereas a lot of actors would be like, well, in those days, let's just get this thing over with so I can, go back to reading for legitimate movies and stuff like that. So I think that's why
You fight for it. Like, it means something to you, so you bring something to the table.
I was enthused by the genre, whereas I think a lot of actors at that point were not enthused. Now, I'm sure Gal Gadot wants to do a horror film. I have no doubt. Somewhere her agent's pushing her to do one. I'm guessing. I don't know. But if she had come around in the 90s, that would not have happened.
I obviously we're talking a lot about horror, but you're not just into horror. I actually just discovered this show about a week ago, Buddy Thunderstruck.
Yeah.
I love animation. That's another one of my strong interests. And I volunteer and work at the animation festival every year in my city, the Ottawa International Animation Festival. I've seen a ton of it, and so I usually have an ear for this stuff. It's a really interesting show. You're kind of like I think it might be in the vein of, like, a different style, of course, but a kind of a BoJack-y, making fun of itself type thing. I mean, how did you get that? Because you're not just acting, you're not just voicing it, but you're also producing in there, right?
No, I'm not
writing, or
no.
I got this mixed up, didn't I?
No, well, that one I'm just a voice actor for. That was made by Stupid Buddy Studios.
Okay.
In Burbank, California. They're the same company that made Robot Chicken.
Oh, okay.
So they're very similar styles, but and they look similar in some regard. They're both hand moved puppet animation, one frame at a time.
Yeah.
So typically animation now is farmed out to China and India, smaller companies, but this was all done on site, so it's pretty cool.
Well, I hope people get the chance to see it, and this is why I'm doing this, because you have a pretty eclectic career, and
Thank you.
I also wanted to know, usually people ask this question at the end of every interview, and I wanted to ask what you have on the agenda. You mentioned something briefly in your panel, but I wonder if you can maybe repeat what you said about what your future projects, what's coming up for you in the future.
Sure. November 15th, I believe, this year, 2018, is the premiere of Dead Wax, a limited series that was made by Shudder, directed by Graham Resnick, and stars Hannah Gross, myself, and a bunch of other awesome, amazing actors, including Chester Rushing. So I'm very excited about that.
They should be excited to have you, because you must be a lot of fun on set.
Well,
if you're anything like you are now, like, I would die laughing like every second you're around. I mean, you have a sense of humor.
well, we try to keep it light. It's a rough business. So you do what you can do, you know.
Okay. Well, listen. You know what? These are brief interviews. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for watching the Convention Junkies coverage of the 2018 London Comic Con. Please like, comment and subscribe to see more, and let us know below what you think of this video. If you would like to help us with future projects, please visit our Patreon page.